certifications from the Human Resources Certification Institute, HRCI, placing him among the globally accredited top tier of HR professionals. Driven by purpose and passion, Demola remains committed to creating workspaces where people thrive and organizations grow sustainably, strategically, and humanely. So let's welcome Mr. Demola Scott, our speaker for today. You're welcome, sir. You
Yeah.
may have the floor. Thank you
Okay.
very much for
Yeah.
joining
Thanks.
us today.
Thanks for having me today. Thanks, Abdul Basit, and thanks Ink Vision Creatives for having me today. Um, this topic is something that I am extremely interested in, and I not just interested in, but I'm also invested in. And why do I say invested in? Is because I've been an HR person for over a decade, like my profile says, and I think one thing that I have tried to do all the time is to always make sure that I give people a chance. Not every HR person has that mindset, but I think I do have that mindset because I was also once an entry level person and I did not understand what the world of work was. I didn't even know what to do. I didn't know how to navigate my way. I didn't know exactly what it required, from me once I was out there, and it's different when you are on campus, still in school. Most times it's a very small place, it's a cocon, right? And you are only focused on what you were focusing on, whether it was school, and not everybody even helped you to start thinking about out after school. It was only a few companies that I knew that came to campus then to prepare us and teach us about what we need to survive, what to do, outside school itself. So that's one of the reasons why this is a very important topic for me, and it's a very important thing to help people understand the opportunities that are out there. The truth about it is that there are a lot of opportunities out there. It's not as easy anymore because you have a lot more graduates coming out of school than you have jobs available. And what that causes is that it leads to a high level of competition. Before, if you finish with a first class, you were guaranteed that you were going to get a job. Everybody's looking for you. Now it's still the same thing right now, right? Not that it doesn't still stop it, but there's now a lot more people that are coming out with first class, and that leads to more competition. I run a graduate training program, and at first we were only taking first class and 2-1. And later on, we started saying we're going to take 2-2 itself in. So the net became wider. When it was just first class and 2-1, it was smaller, right? So it's a difficult space to actually be in. It's a difficult challenge for you if you were not if you were just finishing school, and I don't know if any one of us here have seen stuff out there, where they are asking you about your at an entry level role, but they're asking for 5 years experience, or they're asking for 3 years experience, they're asking for 2 years experience, right? And that's a challenge that most of us face, that most people face. You're wondering what's happening, and a lot of people put it there, the experience. Everybody is looking for experience, and the idea is everybody gets experience by doing. Nobody gets experience by just being there. And I'm a fresh graduate, right? How do you expect me to have experience in this thing? I need to learn, or I need to understand this space. I need to know exactly what is happening and what is going on. And that's exactly why I feel recruiters like myself, HR professionals like myself, need to begin to adjust the way we think about things. Now, but I'm not here to talk about recruiters themselves. I'm going to talk about you as an individual. If you are in this particular space, if you are in this particular if you have this particular challenge, how can you make sense, of this particular situation? And I will speak from my heart because I've been there and I've done that. Let me give you a background to my own story. I remember when I finished school, then I came back to Lagos. I was in OAU then, came back to Lagos. I tried to apply for a couple of roles. I didn't get some. Then luckily for me, NYSC came. And doing NYSC, in fact, luckily for me, I had one of my friends that was very, very motivated. Like, see, it's from NYSC that you start applying for jobs. And luckily for him, he started applying for while he was doing his NYSC. and he got a gig. In fact, we left NYC camp to go and do an interview on the island. So I was like, who? So people can get jobs from me while they are still in camp. So I said, okay, let me go into that. So I started applying myself to, and luckily for me, I got a job with one company. They were a startup, and because they were a startup, they took me in as an HR admin for them. And of course, I fumbled that time because I didn't have as much experience. I knew what they wanted me to say, or I knew how to talk the talk of HR, but I didn't have the experience. Then, luckily for me, after that, after I left that place, after 1 month, I got a gig with one of my mentors. He had a consulting gig to do for a particular organization, and he took me along as his scribe, and that was where I began to hone my skills. When I was done with that after 1 year, that was where I gathered almost all of my skill sets. Then I got a consulting gig for like 2 months with another consulting firm, and then after that, I applied for a job and I got it. And then that was my first real job that I did after NYC. And then I've continually grown from there so far. So I'm just using my own experience to let you know that I have also felt exactly what you felt, but the trouble about it is that there's still that requirement for experience. Most people always still want to see what you have done. It's only companies now that want to increase their bench strength. And what do I mean by that? That run graduate trainee programs or management trainee programs. So banks run that, investment banks run that, and most organizations run that. I've seen banks, I've seen media organizations run an investment, run a graduate trainee program. And the idea is to help people that don't have any experience, don't have any knowledge, to gain knowledge, to grow, to learn about their industry. And the idea is they want to keep a consistent bench strength, because most of the times it is where they have a lot of attrition rate is at the analyst level or at the entry level space, right? So they want to keep on having a continuous flow and a continuous pool of talent. And that's one of the things I will talk about today, about how to maximize graduate trainee programs and going for them. That's basically one of the things that I would do. Now, but what we have seen as another situation is the rise of skills-based hiring, meaning that a lot of people are prioritizing skills over experience, right? And a lot of people are also prioritizing what we call soft skills, not just technical skills. And I'll break it down quickly. Technical skills are the skills that you need or require to perform effectively on the job. So if you're a copywriter, you need to know what is called copywriting. If you are an HR person, you need to understand HR properly. If you are an investment banker, right, or a financial analyst, you must understand analysis and financial modeling. Do you understand? That's technical skills. Now, soft skills are the other skill sets that are not hard. They call them soft skills. They are needed. Now, you can succeed on the job as with technical skills, but you would only excel effectively when you add soft skills to what you have. Example: you have a developer that just knows how to code but cannot communicate, doesn't have emotional intelligence, doesn't know how to, doesn't have interpersonal skill sets. Those are what we call soft skills, and those soft skills are the things that are actually needed. In fact, employers want you to have what we call problem-solving skills, because don't forget, employers are employing you for the skill set you can help them solve. That's what they're employing you for, right? So it's important that you understand that you need to have soft skills. And where else can you begin to learn soft skills? While you were on campus, right? While you were still maybe doing your internship. I met one guy one time. This guy had done 4 internships. He did before he finished school. He did internships every year. Either there was school was on strike or they were on their first semester break. He would find a way to get an internship. And guess what? This guy, when I met him, he was working for a private equity firm and was doing very